sun might be shining here across Scotland, but it's a very different story across southernmost counties of England. We've got an area of low pressure that's now working its way across the south coast. It's basically working, the centre of low pressure is working its way across the English Channel, producing blustery conditions and some pretty heavy rain as well. And we're going to be seeing that system push west to east across the Channel and into the Low Countries by this evening. So we're going to be seeing that band of or canopy of heavy rain really confined south, well south of Coventry over the course of today. So areas to the north, if you're seeing that rain, it's more in the way of sunshine and showers, and that's basically the script across Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and the north and central parts of England. It really is confined more to the southern part of the British Isles. But over the next 24 hours, we're going to be seeing that system push out. And it's also going to spread, as well as the south of England, it's also going to be spreading heavy rain across the drought-stricken areas of northern and central France. Now, the cold front that's associated with that is going to sweep across and down in through the French Alps, Austria, Switzerland, the north of Italy as well. So the higher elevations are going to be seeing more in the way of snowfall. And of course, with the milder conditions, the spring and the strong sun at this time of year, we need to watch out for some avalanches taking place, and as well as that, some spring flooding. I alluded to at the earlier part of last week about the potential for the warming conditions across eastern parts of Europe, the very areas that suffered the worst of the winter. Now we're going to be seeing spring flooding take place, and there was an article in AccuWeather this morning alluding to the spring floods that we're seeing across areas to the south of Moscow, about 100 miles south of Moscow, and unfortunately that is an inevitability. We're also going to be seeing over the next 7 to 10 days some very warm conditions across eastern parts of Europe. We're going to be seeing temperatures up into the mid-20s by the latter part of this week across places such as Kiev and Moscow as well. I'm going to show you that in a second. But let's have a quick look at the GFS chart. This is the surface chart of the Meteor Group website, and you can see here the area of low pressure that's impacting the southern counties of England today. By 12 hours from now, you notice here the track, it's moving basically along the north coast of France, and it's producing quite strong winds across the Channel. So if you're crossing between Dover and Calais, it could be a pretty rough crossing today with those strong gusty winds, especially in the open exposed English Channel. Along the coast it's going to be quite windy. Inland it's not going to be too bad, it's going to be kind of just a blustery old day. But looking 30 hours from now, you notice here, gone is this area of low pressure. It's going to clear the Kent and the Norfolk coast by tonight, so all that rain is going to then exit, allowing some drying to take place, and it will actually be not a bad day tomorrow across this part of the country after those rains of today. But looking ahead at 42 hours, what do you notice here? We've got another area of low pressure here that's going to be starting to deepen, and that is going to be working and following the track of this lead system here. By 54 hours, you notice here, here's the system pushing through. Notice that it's a stronger area of low pressure. Isobars tightly packed together, that indicates the strong gusty winds. We're definitely talking about gales across at least the south of England up through Wales, but those gusty, strong gale force winds could then extend up in through the Midlands as well. By 63 hours, you notice here the track is slightly further north than the first system. Instead of the first system being along the French coast, this system is going to push and track through Cornwall, Devon, and it's going to be spreading not only those strong winds, but as well as that very heavy rain associated with this system. The rains in this system is going to be much heavier than the lead system will be, and you also notice that the northern track will extend both the precipitation up through the Midlands, up into even the north of England as well, but as well as that, those strong winds are going to be covering a large part of the British Isles. In fact, this is by Wednesday, by the way, and by Thursday the system is sitting really over Birmingham, and we're going to be talking about some gusty winds out of the southwest across all southern counties of England, including the Greater London area. And as well as that, further north, we're going to be talking about a cold northeasterly wind over Scotland, down through Cumbria, Northumberland, across Northern Northern Ireland, and as well as that the Republic of Ireland as well. So the winds are going to be more out of the northeast in the northern half and western parts of the British Isles, southwesterly in the southern half. And let's have a quick look at the I'm going to try and pull up the precipitation map, skip back to the current setup. So this is plus 3 hours here, and you notice here this is all shower activity. This more broken up precipitation forecast indicates more in the way of showers. Here, of course, is the more organised canopy of rain associated with the area of low pressure. By 18 hours, you notice the progression of the rain now pushing into East Anglia, the Kent coast. You can notice here the drying taking place on the backside through Cornwall, Devon, into the home counties of England as well. By 36 hours, it's then, well, basically we've got more rain pushing through. This, of course, is by Tuesday, but it's more in the way of shower activity here. This here, I believe, is overdone by the GFS. I don't really think we're going to see as much rain as this map would indicate. By 48 hours, there's the second system, the strong area of low pressure, pushing in down to 974 millibars, and it's going to impact a large swath of England. 57 hours. You notice here the extent of the rain, well north of Birmingham, extending up through Greater Manchester, Liverpool as well. Of course, with the current setup, the rain is more confined to southernmost counties of England, so the extent of the rain pushes well up through England and Wales as well. By 72 hours, this of course is by Thursday, the rain is extended all the way up into southern Scotland, into parts of Northern Ireland as well. But it's going to be windy everywhere by later on Wednesday into Thursday as well. Feeling quite chilly, mountain snow across the Grampians, Central Highlands, perhaps in the higher elevations. But it's certainly going to be a very unsettled week. Is the drought over? No, not by a long shot. We've still got a large swath of England under drought conditions. This, of course, is good news. We're going to be seeing 100 or more percent of rainfall now for the month of April. What a contrast compared to what we've seen back last month in the month of March, of course. Let's have a quick look at the ECMWF upper level chart. Trough firmly established over the British Isles and Ireland. Same old story, isn't it? And we can see here the region taking place in basically in relationship, in contrast to this trough over Western Europe. We're seeing warmth getting projected northwards up through eastern parts of Europe. Notice here, this is the upper level low associated with the second system. That's going to scoot on northeastwards. By Wednesday into Thursday, you notice here something. The warming starting to take place. The trough is going to start to dig all the way down in towards the Azores region, producing shy, unsettled, cooler conditions all the way down into the subtropics. As that trough digs down, you're going to be starting to see the warmth getting pushed northwards from Africa. It's going to start to warm up across the Mediterranean basin. So if you're vacationing here, you're going to start to see by the latter part of this week into the weekend much warmer conditions. Look at that there for eastern parts of Spain, the western flank of the Mediterranean basin. Also notice here, going to have strong winds blowing all the way up along this jet stream. This is the jet here, separating cooler air with warmer air. Troughiness, high pressure. That's going to pump all that heat all over. The majority of mainland Europe is going to be very mild by the end of this week and into the weekend. By Saturday, you notice here the heat bank slap over Germany. Also, we're going to be talking about very warm conditions, much warmer than normal for such places as the Balkans, up through Ukraine, European Russia as well. We're going to be talking about temperatures well into the mid-20s for places like Moscow. So certainly summer is going to arrive early after such a long winter in Moscow. By Sunday of next week, you notice here something. The trough firmly established over the west, extending all the way down into the Azores and even the Canary Islands. At the same time, it's projecting that heat up through central and eastern parts of Europe. An upper level low here over Greece. That's going to continue to kick off showers and unsettled conditions despite that warmth. So it's certainly a very interesting pattern indeed. Two systems now going to be affecting the south of England, France, the Low Countries. Further north, we're going to be seeing sunshine and showers continue, but it's going to turn much more unsettled by about Wednesday and the Thursday. Much more stronger winds, even up here across Scotland as well. But those winds are going to be quite chilly. Northeasterly direction is going to pull in that cooler air, so it's going to feel cooler. The air temperature is going to be cooler as well. And for Europe as well, as we start to see that trough dig in through the western flank of Europe down into the Azores, it's then going to further east pump that heat northwards from Africa. So you're going to be talking Germany, Poland, Russia, down through the southeast of Europe. You folks are going to be really heating up by the latter part of this week and into the weekend, and extending right through into next week as well. Keep checking back to my blog. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll keep you up to date. Bye for now.